Wheaties present Dimension X.
Adventures in time and space, transcribed in future tense.
Dimension X. On stage tonight, Dimension X. Another in the Wheaties' big parade of exciting half-hour presentations.
I don't mean to be too personal, mind you, but have you found out how Wheaties at 7 can help at 11? It's really very easy to find out, you know, and it's mighty worthwhile. Now, what you do is this. Come breakfast time some morning real soon. Dish yourself up a bowl of Wheaties. Crisp, golden flakes, 100% whole wheat. Add some fruit, add milk, and you'll be getting some real nourishment. And at 11 a.m., I think you'll begin to understand why. Because Wheaties have it. The whole wheat energy that makes such a difference come mid-morning. Wheaties have it, and it's for you. Now, see if you don't look better, feel better, smile easier every day that breakfast begins with Wheaties. I know, I do. See for yourself how Wheaties at 7 can help at 11. It's amazing, really.
Do you remember when you were young, how your elders would tell you bedtime stories about the man in the moon? Well, tonight we have a different kind of story to tell about him. A story of suspense in the unknown world of the future, where anything can happen.
Attention. Attention. This is the Federal Bureau of Missing Persons calling all local agencies. Attention. This is a coded report nationwide. Missing since 9 o'clock this morning the following persons. Smidgley Jonathan, 5 feet 8 inches tall, brown hair, brown eyes, mastoid.
Hello.
Hey, get off this wavelength. This is a restricted band.
Hello.
Look, whoever you are, you're on a coded wavelength. Now tune out. This frequency is reserved for the Federal Bureau of Missing Persons.
Hello, Earth. This is the moon calling Earth. Hello, Earth.
This guy's loony. Transmitting room.
Jake in transmission.
Jake, this is Charlie in the code room. Some crackpot's on our frequency.
Yeah, I heard him, Charlie. I've got CQ trying to trace it now.
Yeah, well, hurry it up, will you? Some ham's in for a good stiff fine by the FCC.
Well, they ought to take his license away. Oh, here comes Lenny with a directional fix.
Here you are, Jake. I checked it 4 times.
Why, this is impossible, and you know
I
it.
can't help it.
Hey, what's going on down there? How about it? Get that ham out of my killer sight.
Listen, Charlie, that interference is being beamed from 240,000 miles away.
Oh, now, Jake, you know there ain't no such thing as 240,000 miles away.
Oh, yes, there is, Charlie. Straight up.
Straight... Hey, now, wait a minute.
Charlie, that signal's coming from the moon.
Are you nuts?
Somebody might be bouncing it like a radar signal.
Radar on this frequency? Where did you study basic radio?
Listen, flathead, you asked for a fix. I gave the best fix our instruments can find. Now take it or leave it. Somebody on the moon is calling the Bureau of Missing Persons.
Mr. Timken.
What's the sweat, Charlie? Shouldn't you be broadcasting?
Now, listen, Mr. Timken, you know I'm a sober citizen, right? Never once have I broadcast with the smell of alcohol on my breath, right? In all your 12 years here at the Bureau, did I
What's
once...
the matter, Charlie?
We're picking up a message on our wavelength.
Well, did you report to the FCC?
I ain't got the nerve.
Well, what's wrong?
You'll scream when you hear this, Mr. Timken. You'll jump right out the window, but we are getting an SOS from the moon. That's got it. Started on voice and switched to Morse.
What did he say?
Let's see now. Can you read me? Help Otterburn. Will contact when the moon is in phase.
Otterburn.
Sounds like a name.
Otterburn. Otterburn. Holy jumping Jehoshaphat.
Hey, where you going?
To talk to the chief.
Hey, now, wait a minute. What are you going to tell him? We just got a CQ from the man in the moon?
That's exactly what I'm going to tell him, Charlie.
What? Oh, no. This is too much for me. Let me have O'Brien on the city desk, huh?
One moment. O'Brien speaking.
Seamus?
Yeah?
This is Charlie Starbuck down at the Missing Persons Bureau. You want a hot one? No kidding. This'll cost you a beer, okay?
Shoot, Buck. I'll stay in your wavelength for 30 seconds.
Yeah, okay. We just got a radio message from the moon.
What?
From the moon!
Call me back when you're sober.
Okay, Seamus, if you don't know a story when you see one.
I'll send you the name of a good psychiatrist. So long, Orson Welles.
Orson Welles? Hey, how do you like that? He don't believe me.
Otterburn, Mr. Wade. Does that name ring a bell?
You're the man with the photographic memory, Henry. What about Otterburn?
Cornelius Otterburn, atomic physicist, reported missing from his home in Baltimore on June 5th, 1945, just 5 years ago. Vanished completely.
Are you trying to tell me you really think there's something to this man in the moon business? Henry, I'm surprised at you. This is some crackpot trying to jam the airwaves.
But the name Otterburn is so unusual.
So are a lot of names.
Mr. Wade, I have a theory.
Henry, you always have a theory.
But, Mr. Wade.
Out, Henry.
Mr. Wade.
Out. I'm busy.
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry, Henry. Oh, here, take this folder of reports for the dead file.
Oh, yes, sir.
And no more nonsense, eh, Henry? I appreciate that you have a very dull job filing old missing person reports, and I appreciate that you take an active interest in the affairs of the Bureau. But, no more nonsense, hmm?
No, sir, Chief. No more nonsense. Oh!
Pardon me.
Hmm?
Are you Mr. Henry Timken?
That's my name.
Permit me, Jefferson Philo, scientific feature writer. May I have a moment of your time?
Certainly. Just sit down at my desk right over here.
Thank you. My, that's quite a stack of papers.
Filing. I'm the records custodian of the Bureau. 12 years and never misplaced a record.
Magnificent. Now, Mr. Timken.
Yes?
Mr. O'Brien, the editor of the Star Ledger, said I might drop by and investigate a rumor. Only a rumor, mind you, that a message from the, moon?
Well, we aren't certain it's from the moon. It may be a bounce. They have bounced radar waves off the moon, you know.
Yes, I know. I wrote the first newspaper article on it.
Oh, really? Well, I'd be interested to read it.
I must have a copy in my briefcase.
Well, don't bother.
Oh, but I insist. There you are. I'll leave it on your desk.
Well, thank you very much.
Now, about this message from the moon, Mr. Timken.
Well, we don't know for sure, as I said, but I believe that this message, wherever it originates, is from Cornelius Otterburn.
The physicist?
Oh, you know him.
I once wrote an article on his contribution to nuclear mechanics. A brilliant man, Otterburn, years ahead of his contemporaries.
Well, whoever is sending those signals, if he isn't on the moon, is at least using the moon as a sounding board, bouncing the signal.
But why, Mr. Timken? Why?
Look here, Mr. Philo. If you will come here tomorrow night at 8, we may learn the answer to that question. I have arranged with Charlie, our radio man, to let me use the equipment.
May I consider this an invitation?
You certainly may.
Very well, sir. Until tomorrow night, then. Goodbye, sir.
Goodbye, Mr. Philo. Goodbye. Lack-a-day. Now, let me see now. Oh, that's funny. Where did this list of names come from? Paul Aarons, astromathematician. Robert Simons, electronic engineer. Carl Parker, mining specialist. Oh, this must have got mixed up with the papers on my desk by accident. It's a peculiar list of names. Most peculiar.